After I graduated from college, it was hard for me to find a job, and so I moved up to Nashville and I worked at the Opryland Hotel. About 6 months after being there, I met the woman who would become my wife. We were married for 10 years. We had our ups and downs and all. We had 3 children. We eventually moved back down here to be around family and had started a durable medical equipment company. And then Katrina hit and we ended up losing that and pretty much everything as well. Everything that was happening at the time, I began to use alcohol to settle my nerves and not be so anxious. And so it worked. I didn't feel what I didn't want to feel. I stopped for a little while, but when a big job that I had fell through, it was over. I was full-blown drinking. She came to me one day after me sensing something was wrong and me asking, and she said she wanted a divorce. We ended up getting a divorce, which crushed me. I had no hope. Depression set in like never before. I was anxious all the time. I was angry. I was full of regret and remorse. Over the course of the last, that 10-year span, I've been in jail. I've got 2 DWIs. I've lost jobs. My family, out of love, watched all this happening and tried to get through to me. And I tried going to psychiatrists, therapists. I was on 10 different medications for blood pressure, anxiety, depression. I went to AA. I went to anything and everybody that I could think of that could help me with this. And the only place or the only person I didn't go to was God, because I was angry and I blamed him. My family had had enough and had an intervention. It was Johnny Leonardo from the retreat and 2 other disciples. It was either get help and come to the mission, or I'm not going to be staying with my family anymore. I have nowhere to go because they're done. So I went with Johnny. By that Friday, I was ready to go. This wasn't for me. This wasn't going to work. All this God talk, I wasn't having it. I called my father to come pick me up. No, I'm not. And he said not to call any of the family, because if you do, or you go over there, the police are going to be called. There was nowhere for me to go anymore. I was sent that night to the mission in New Orleans, and it was there in that mission where God met me. After I think it was around 2 weeks or so, I came back to the retreat and spent the rest of my time here, and just grew and grew and grew. Life is completely different now, and just the word freedom comes to mind. Just free from all the stuff. You seek Christ, you put him first, you surrender to him, you trust him, and he's going to give you what you need. So I thank him for that. I'm grateful for that. Absolutely. But none of it means anything without him in my life. I thank the people here at the retreat and at the mission who sacrifice their time and their lives for people like me that don't think of themselves. All they do is point to Christ and point to Christ. And that's what rescued me out of the pit that I was in. And so I'm very grateful today. I'm thankful, and I couldn't be more at peace. My name is Ryan, and I am a disciple.